Stuck in the past watching videos of this. I have been trying to get rid of your stuff, but voices in my head are telling me to stop. It's all I have left, all I have of you. Thought I was more than nobody you hold, baby. I wanted you, wanted us to be something. I was so sure to let my guard down for you. Baby, why'd you have to love me like that? I gave you my heart, we threw it apart. Don't know why you had to hurt me like that. So messed up, thinking I'll stop, just trying to forget you. Everything we said, but I can't seem to get these thoughts out of my head. Baby, why'd you have to love me like that? Love me like that. Oh, staying inside in my bed all day long. Listening to sad songs, I'm feeling so low. Thinking about you when we were wrong. I wanna know why you let me go. Thought I was more than nobody you hoping. I wanted you, wanted us to be something. I was so sure, let my guard down for you. Baby, why'd you have to love me like that? I gave you my heart, so it apart. Don't know why you had to hurt me like that. So messed up, thinking I'd stop, just trying to forget you. Everything we said, but I can't seem to get these thoughts out of my head. Baby, why'd you have to love me like that? Love me like that. Oh. That I was more than nobody you hoping. I wanted you, wanted us to be something. I was so sure, let my guard down to you. Baby, why'd you have to love me? I gave you my heart, so it apart. Don't know why you had to hurt me like that. So messed up, thinking I'd stop, trying to forget you. Everything we said, but I can't seem to get these thoughts out of my head. Baby, why'd you have to love me like that? Love me like that. Oh. Got money in my money right now. Running juice, they stole out my crown. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup it. Don't waste my energy. I don't got much, so we wasting all my energy. Keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine. I thought God was like fine, but then we find out you can go around getting shots, running blocks. Come on, man, try to fuck around, fixing. But no, for comparisons. What's wrong, you won't be for me. Yeah, I'ma go through, just to go through. Then what you want me for, make what you would say about me. True, true. Tell them I need my money right now. Running juice, they stole out my crown. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup it. Don't waste my loyalty, I let you in, but I left because I couldn't see. But now it's clear you ain't ever been true to me. My intuition ain't never let I had to leave. I do your business, Do what you think you need to do to get your breathing. But you won't break me, gotta have a witness. Cause I'm on the fly, I wanna make sure. Fuck my blessing, but only for the blessings. What's wrong, you won't be for me. Yeah, I'ma go through. Just to go through. But baby, what you want me for me, what you been saying about me, true. True. Tell me when you mind, you went out. How did you say so loud? Sorry to tell you, I know my life. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I know we might have a slight echo, so I'm going to go ahead and connect my headset. Hold on a second. Hold on. All right, that ought to clear up the echo. Oh boy. Good afternoon, evening, everybody. It's your girl, Reigning Woman. Welcome to all of my new supporters and listeners, and welcome back to all of my returning listeners and supporters. Can you all hear me okay? Waiting to see if you guys can hear me before I continue. I think you can. Okay, awesome. So we have Tone Malone listening live. We have the real Aaron Collins. We have Zero the Infinite. And we have first to the chat room, Omanika, Mama Max. And we have Emmanuel. Hi, hey, it's so good to have you guys here for me. Let me give my disclaimer, a couple of them actually. I did not jot down anything in particular in order for this stream. So I'm going to try to not go all over the place while I can hit the points that I want to hit, right? My second disclaimer is I'm going to try to stay just mature and clean, but I make no promises because I feel very, very, very intensely passionate about what I'm speaking on today. So I make no promises that this will remain clean, okay? But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best. Peace, all heart grading grind. Welcome. Before I do this, I want to add this person as a moderator. He's coming through. So, okay. So, I will be sharing, as you all see in the title, this is about YouTube YouTube content creator Kevin Samuels and a recent live stream that he did on his channel where he made a statement that it is time for Black men, for men to advocate for men who want to be with men. He also stated that he understands the impulse, I guess, for men to be He understands the temptation that a man might have to be with men because of their frustration with 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 women. Okay? Now, I make absolutely no qualms about the fact that I am pro black woman, pro black man, pro black families, pro God, can't omit being pro God, and being um, pro humanity. Let me be very, 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 very clear as well. I know I've said this before, but I am 100% pro heterosexuality. I am 100% pro heterosexuality. Okay? So, I don't care who doesn't take these same stands with me. The point is that it is important for me and people who feel the way that I feel with the same passion and with the same and with some of the same reasoning, be very clear and be very vocal and be very bold when it comes to anything that challenges that. Now, I don't think, and I'm going to, yes, I am going to play part of the clip, okay? Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is my commentary. This is my commentary. And yes, I am going to share the clip, okay? So that it's not said that it was taken out of context, okay? And that women like myself are just being emotional about the matter, okay? Because no, or we're just anti, black men and their options or whatever. Let me say this also, okay? While I am pro heterosexual, if you subscribe to any other sexuality, that is your choice. That is your right. And I respect your right. I respect your choice. I will not, however, be silent. I will not be cajoled. I will not be lulled to sleep as if my voice doesn't matter because of all of the rights that this LGBTQ, I'm going to say the letters, because I am not going to be I'm not going to be forced to be pussyfooting around. I am not going to be forced to pussyfoot around for said agenda. I'm just not going to do it. Period. The boldness and the blatantness that this community and these agendas speak and put forth shall not and will not intimidate the voice and the spirit of spiritual warriors like myself. And I am very much prepared and very much ready to go to spiritual warfare and, if need be, physical warfare for my stands. Period. I believe that black men need to really, 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 men in general, but especially black men, I believe that you have a responsibility to stand up for what chooses to put itself ahead of you or in front of you to represent you. As a black woman and as a woman, it is my responsibility to police what is used to represent me or the likeness of me, and to stand up and to stand up against anything that goes against that. Okay? Hey, Joe, good to see you. If I miss, good to see you, Brother Moshe. Shalom. If I miss anyone in the chat, please forgive me because I don't want to get off track because I don't have anything written down and I want to be sure and hit my points, okay? So, Kevin Samuels. I may breathe. Let me use my breathing exercises. Um, has done things and said things that were quite suspect prior to this. And I must say that, in my opinion, those that are 100% heterosexual and those that are 100% homosexual was able to clearly see that Kevin Samuels is not 100% heterosexual. Period. We said in different places and in different ways, some things got, this is suspect. At the bare minimum, it's suspect. I don't know, pink fur coats, feathery, fuzzy shoes, hmm, man bags, aka purses for men, tight pants, not just tight, like fashionably tight, but tight like check me out tight. A crossing of the legs, in a way that's not common for the heterosexual male. This is just to name a few things, okay? Just to name a few. Even with some of the messages trying to, and I quote, unquote, semi quote, help black women and bring black men and black women together, the judgment and the speech against black women, the methodology for someone who is mentally secure and stable like myself does not come across as someone who is really working towards our benefit as a group, as a heterosexual group, is what I'm saying here. It did very much sound like he really kind of wants black woman out the way, right? And then at the same time, I gotta, I want you to know that I'm here for you, though. So let me raise these. Let me share this ridiculous standards for women all across the board, and the same thing for men, like the proverbial carrot. There is no way that this could have been taken out of context when he then says it is time for black men to advocate for men who want to be with men. That is when I definitely said, you know what? I am going, this is the time. This is the time to for me to speak on Kevin Samuels. This is my time. Now is the time for me to speak on Kevin Samuels directly, specifically. I don't care how frustrated as a woman, I don't care how frustrated I have gotten with men or with black men that I have said, I'm feeling this impulse, as if you will. I'm feeling the impulse to mate another woman because I'm so frustrated with men. My body, my hormones are starting to react and respond to women. I'm starting to get aroused by women. I'm starting to feel extremely, unbelievably attracted to women because the selection of men out there are just not quality enough. Or I'm just so frustrated with who they're being. Nope. Rain and woman ain't going. This is not the voice of everyday black men. This is not the voice of my brothers. This is not the voice of men. This is not representation of the voice of men that I choose to pick from. So Let me tell you, black men, if you have an impulse to hold another man's hands, to cuddle with another man, to cry and lean on another man's shoulders and be comforted like a child, if you feel the impulse to go out on a dinner date, have brunch, sip tea, if you will, with another man, you are not heterosexual. This is not because you are just frustrated with women, okay? No, that is not the reason. There is something else going on. Maybe you want to be bisexual. I believe that's what the B stands for in the LGBTQ society. Maybe you want to be trisexual, just kind of try anything. But let's be very clear what you are not. You are not heterosexual. If you can know that someone is a as claiming to be a female but was not born a female, you are not heterosexual. If you can be quite comfortable with the idea of another man touching you in any way, sexual or intimate, performing any type of sexual act on you or with you, you are not heterosexual. So I'm going to play this clip. And because I want, listen, ladies, black women in particular, we have had strong issues in the past with dealing with men, brothers, if you will, black men, if you will, that were undercover gay, undercover homosexual. We're not going to play these games with these men. I am not going to play these games with this agenda and with this community. Rain and Woman ain't going. I said I am not going. I will sew up my body parts. I will have my hole just sewn up, all just stitched together before I go. Because Rain Woman ain't going. Rain and Woman is not going. I listen. You don't have to tell me your reasons. I don't even care what your reasons are for being that way. Take it up with the counselor. If you want to take it to God, we can do that, and we can take it in prayer. We can do that. But I'm not interested in excuses, especially when your excuses to somehow, some way, try to turn it and blame the black woman. Rain and Woman is not going, okay? You are heterosexual. You are homosexual because you choose to be a homosexual. Maybe that's been your struggle as a child, maybe that's been your cross to bear. Maybe that's been your cross to bear. But the bottom line is, if you choose to give into it, that's by choice. So let me go ahead and get this clip ready. Get this, let's share this clip. And I think I have to disconnect my headset to do this. Hold on a second. Disconnect the headset. I apologize if you're going to hear an echo. Um, I apologize until I get some more earphones, which has not been my priority. But the echo, large office, high ceilings, the echo is there. Okay, so give me a second to share my screen. Okay, let me see how it's looking over here. Okay, here we go. So now let's catch the audio.
Jesus Christ. I guess I think a lot more of a lot of black men than some folks, but that's okay. All right. Miss Williams, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get you going because you're not adding your microphone. You're not paying attention. Um.
Can
Ooh.
y'all
All
hear
right.
it?
So I'll tell you one thing I am disappointed. I sure wish that we had more men who were advocating for men. I wish we had more men who were advocating for men ahead of everything else. You got men advocating for the race over the men when the women in question, are they doing the same? Are they advocating and are they showing that they're doing that? It's not what they say. Are they showing that they're advocating for the race over the men, for the race over themselves by giving the men of the race wives? That's what women tell men of a group they think about you by the way they look and the way they act. So there are plenty of women who will say, I'm advocating for black men to stay with black women and black family and black love. But are you ready to be a black wife? Oh, I'm too young. I got to go get my job, my career, my bag. So it means it's for somebody else. Only raise your hand if you have a disagreement. I got 3 more people. Oh my goodness. Unmute yourself, please. What is this going on here? Seriously? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Well, let me go first. Right.
No, hold on, go ahead. How old are you?
I'm 35.
What's the disagreement?
Like I say,
What's the disagreement?
I would like to say a few things, but I don't know when this will get late.
Okay. You don't have to. Okay. I'm going to lower everybody's hand. I only want to talk to the people who have a disagreement. If you don't have a disagreement, please do not raise your hand. There's a button that says raise hand. Where'd Anthony go? Darn it. Oh, crap. All right. Anthony. Ooh. Yeah, I'll get in. Hello, go ahead. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Just barely.
Okay.
How old are you?
I don't have a disagreement. I'm 31, so I didn't raise my hand for that.
Okay. Well, if it's not a disagreement, you gotta move on. If I've already spoken with you, we gotta get it. Amanda, go ahead.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm well. How old are you?
I'm 47.
All right. So what is the disagreement?
Well, for the majority of things, I'm pretty much agreement. But the one thing that I've noticed is a lot of times you'll mention people being too young. And then you'll reckon back to, past times.
What's the disagreement on this topic?
Well,
Do you have this? Please, sir.
Well,
Make it simple.
Okay, well, I'm saying
The pool of what?
The pool of women shrinks when you take out a certain amount of women.
What is the disagreement? What is the disagreement? Oh. What is the question that I asked?
The question is, should we date outside of our race or outside of our cultural groups? And I think it's a. Go ahead.
That's not the question. I said black men who are. I've been going for 4 hours, and I said black men who are looking to be married and have families, be fathers, solid citizens who are ready to be married. Should they expand their options if there are not enough wives that look like they're available? That's the question.
Okay, yeah. So expand meaning outside of our cultural.
Yes. Are there? Yes.
And I'm saying preferably no.
Preferably no.
But I'm saying preferably no.
Okay, but if they preferably no, are they okay? Hold on. You can't overtalk. That shit won't work. Let's try this again. The way this, I'll let you say. Look, preferably is one thing, but are there, for the black men who want to marry and have children, who are ready to be married, are there enough black women who want to be wives, who are ready to be wives?
And my answer is two-part. And the reason I brought in the other.
Before the two-part, could you give me a yes or a no? Before you give me the nuance, give me the concrete.
I don't think it's that concrete. That's what I'm saying. I think.
Well, no. Guys, the question I'm asking has been the same question over and over. But I feel people want to get nuance because the answer is not what they want it to be. For the black men, are there enough for the black men who want to be married and are fit and ready to be married? Are there enough fit women fit to be wives and ready to be wives? Thank you. This is the same shit. That's the same when I asked that black woman who was a counselor about the smiling, it was the same delay. The answer is no. You know it's not. That's why you're delaying.
I don't want to lie with the problem. It's not.
It's not that hard of a question. Well, I don't have the numbers in front of me. They could have changed this last week's census. The fuck are you talking about? All you have to do is turn to the manosphere. All you have to do is listen to any channel where men talking about the state of the dating relationship while your kids running around making noise. They don't have wives and kids. You need to listen to what the men are telling you. They will tell you. There's a man right here in Atlanta who was popping this same shit, and there's 17 women to one man down here. And I said, well, how many times a week in Atlanta where there's 17 black women to one black man? How many times a week in Atlanta do you run into a woman that's ready or fit to be a wife? Not that often. Do you hear that? in Atlanta, 17-1. And he said, in a week, not that often. So due respect to what you feel, think, whatever. I'm here in the Black Mecca. So instead of telling us what you think, shut the French toast up and listen to the people who are still in the game. No offense, guys, but a lot of y'all are talking in y'all's fucking feelings. And what bothers me is men are supposed to advocate for the best outcome for men. And I'm hearing men who are like, stay black and get down with. Fine. Where are the black women who want to marry these men? Who want to be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and go build this Wakanda you're talking about? Where are they? Where are they? But I got to be an asshole because I'm the one that just asked the question. Cool, I'll be the asshole. I've yet to have somebody say, But anyway, let's answer this. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Oh, you got me?
How old are you?
34.
What's the noise in the background?
It's a refrigerator situation.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to it quickly if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Basically, men can have the option. We shouldn't do it. Specifically because this is who we are. As far as a one-drop rule, it might mean something to the masses.
Hold on. We shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it because of black.
We should stay together.
Hold on. We shouldn't do it ultimately because of black.
I think
one drop rule. Okay, man, sir, I'm just trying to understand. The ultimate position is we shouldn't do it because black. We're black. One drop rule. Whatever. Black.
White people
black.
don't do it because of white.
Okay, sir, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that.
Okay. Again, I'm going to try this one time again. See, it's not a hard concept. Are you saying that black men should not do it ultimately because we black? And the answer is?
The answer is yes, because.
All right, then, if that's the case, then why don't the women who are black make themselves suitable wives for the men who want to stay married to black women because we're black?
That is their choice.
It's not their choice. No, sir. See, therein lies the problem. Black men are holding themselves to a standard that our women aren't even holding themselves to. We're supposed to stand out and hold the line because we black, and we're not even getting. See, the problem is not that the black men don't want to be fathers in black families and be black. My preference is black, but where are the corresponding black women who are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childish, who want to be our wives? See, that's where we're not getting to. So we're telling black men, hold on, black man, just wait for her to come along. When 78% of them are overweight, obese, when a larger percent of them are single mothers, just hold on, wait for the one or two that might come along. When you got a brother right here in Atlanta, 17-1, tell you don't even see him on a weekly basis.
Excuse me, guys. Let's also remember that Kevin Samuels is not one-time divorced, but he is two-time divorced. Kevin Samuels is not one time, but he's two-time divorced.
So ultimately, what is black going to do for that man if he doesn't have a black wife to make a black family when he dies single and childless? What happened to the black man?
I mean, that's it, man. That's literally it.
So are you saying you want the black race to die out? In that case, because that's it. No women. Or would it be better for him to go make a shade of brown?
You make the point. The shade of brown is better than nothing.
That's all I'm saying. We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us. I don't care what they say. What are the women showing? That's the ultimate thing. Are the women showing what they're saying? And I don't see it. I knew this was going to run deep. All right. Let's get to last person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Did y'all hear that?
All right. It's past 2 o'clock. That's too much. Look.
Hold on a second.
Look. Okay. I knew this was going to be a contentious topic.
Did you, Kevin? Of course.
But I'm going to stand on my square.
Stand on my square.
I'm a men's advocate. And I see far too many men, and have seen far too many men that I know over the last 30 years who have been raised in single-parent households, who have been beta males, who have had troubles, trials, tribulations, seen the worst parts of everything, and are made themselves thorough men who, despite their best efforts, every time they try to reach out to their woman who's their counterpart, they don't want to get married. They don't want to do. I know black men right now who have had to date out because there are not enough black women who want to be wives, who are fit to be their wife. There are women who say they want to be a wife, but like they said, do they have somebody else's kid? Are they agreeable? Are they? What are you getting? And what are we ultimately telling men? That being black, just wait your life out to hope. You cannot control what anyone does in this country. The women are going to do what they do. You can't manipulate them, you can't force them, you can't cajole them. And honestly, I've heard, and I will say this to the women: the women advocate for each other far more than the men do. But you know what? That's to be expected, because the daughters saw their mothers stand up and say, "I don't need no man," or whatever. Get what you want. The daughters have been told strength. The daughters have been told to worry about yourself from the mothers. The weakness that we're seeing in black men advocating for themselves is from the weakness that's been put in them from the mothers. Whether on purpose or accidental, doesn't matter. And my ultimate point is, you matter. You matter. Your life matters. And you deserve to be with somebody who wants to be with you. I prefer it to be somebody that looks like you. But if there are not enough of them around, do you want everything to end with you? Where is a sense of urgency in our women to say, you know what? I don't want it to end with him either. So we're going to have a conversation in some part or another. I know this thing is going to get chopped and screwed and misinterpreted like a mug because people just don't listen. They don't actively listen. There are going to be people who come in here who actively come in here in bad faith and take something said in context and out of context. The ultimate context is this: women of the group tell men of the group what they think men deserve by how they look and how they act. And I want to ask one question: how are black women telling black men what they think they deserve by how black women look and act when it comes to being married? Are black women looking forward to marriage like kids look forward to Christmas? Or you're looking forward to marriage like Christmas when you know you got a gift bag and some socks under there? How often do you hear our young women talk about their bag, their entrepreneurialism, hustle, grind, or whatever? Or they talk about, oh, I'm ready to be a wife. How many times do you hear our women when they're 18 to 27 years old saying, my priority right now is getting married and being a wife and having children? That's often the default position after they've done everything else.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. So, y'all, Rain and Woman is not going. Okay, um, Rain and Woman just ain't going. Period. Point blank. Period. Listen here. Let me put my ear. Let me put my headset. Now, before I do that, listen. I'm going to play some music. We're gonna take a music break. We're gonna take a music break from our flickering flame, and then I will come back. I will come back with more commentary about what the flickering flame in the room has said. Flickering flame, aka Kevin Samuels. I mean a whole flickering flame. Money got my friends in the back to my road. We gon' make it big one day. We gon' make it big, let's say. We gon' make it big, just stay in the, stay in the room. Stay in the room. You spend all the roses. Spend all the roses. You stay in the room. Come to my life, have 6 months to December. Break my heart, brand new one. Just paradise in the bed. See it in your eyes when you make my night. With too many heartbeats still on your mind. Let the flame burn out for a while. Let the flame burn out for a while. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Give the moment. Spend all the roses. Spend all the roses for me. Just give the moment. Stay in the moment. I see you coming, been trying to run away. I see you smiling, since we were stuck in LA. Burned out the roof, got me, don't watch the sky on me. Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy, teasing all day and later. Sunset, you asking me to come to pick you with you. Nothing to morning to you. Feeling rushing, lose control. You know, slow. We both already know your place is my place now. My place is your place, let's face it. Baby, I wanna trace it, trace it. Okay, let me stop this now. I'm ready to come back to you. I'm tr- Yo, y'all see that avatar? Y'all see my avatar? This is what Kevin Samuel was once, guys. Like what's right there in the avatar. He wants he wants to do some he's advocating for buck breaking. I, that's what Rain of Woman is not going. I'm not going. Let me stop the music in my ear. Uh, stop. Rain of Woman is not going at all. There is no way what was said was taken out of text. We've given you the context. There is no way it was taken out of text. Hey, Little Rock. No way at all. So, listen, black men, black men that want to listen to black manosphere content, listen, I have a bit of advice for you. Woman to man. Okay, I'm talking to you, woman to man, black woman to black man. Okay. You'd better take everything that you hear in the black manosphere space with a grain of salt. As men, you really need to identify what's truly important to you. You need to evaluate yourself for your own character, your current character, and that you need to build up. Evaluate what your weaknesses are. Identify your strengths so that you can be very intentional about the type of content that you take in and try to utilize to improve yourself. Because I'm hoping at the end of the day, like really and truly, I mean, we already know that a lot of it has to do with the vagina. The vagina that you didn't get, the vagina that the other guys got that you wish you had, or the vagina just that you did get that you feel like you did you wrong. Like at the end of the day, a lot of it is surrounded around the vagina. But you've got to get the vagina off your mind like that, but not get it off your mind in the sense of running and turning to men for your sexual satisfaction and your comfort and for you to mate with and attempt to procreate in an unnatural way with, unless that is what you truly and deeply desire. Now, if that is what you truly and deeply desire, I respect your choice. And I want you to feel as comfortable as you can feel with your choice. It goes against what I stand for, it goes against what I believe. Okay? But it does not make me hate you. I hate the agenda. I do not hate you. But again, make no qualms about it. Rain and Woman is pro heterosexual. Heterosexual lives matter. We matter. Heterosexual relationships are the standard. And black men, unless you want, Kevin Samuels is the representative of the black manosphere. Obsidian Media Network himself said, I think it was either earlier this year or in the latter part of last year, that that yes, it takes someone from the alphabet community to lead the black manosphere into mainstream and to lead the black manosphere forward. That came out of the mouth of Obsidian Media Network over on Reg the Bad Guy's channel. Now, I don't have that clip, but I'm sure someone does. I am ever so sure that someone does have that clip, that soundbite. And Obsidian, when asked about it, he doubled down on it. Kevin Samuels he called it a glitch. Let's go back to this. I don't want to forget this. Kevin Samuels, a few months ago, was doing a live stream on his channel, and as meticulous as he is with the way he does his streams and handles things, when his cameras in his apartment showed up in front of the audience, showing another black man in his bed or a bed in his apartment, snuggled up, sleeping very comfortably. He called that a glitch. And everybody else said that ain't no glitch. Nope, glitch how? Glitch where? Who that in your bed? KS? Now he has all but said, yes, he tried to say it was a caller trolling. Oops, that's a glitch. Some caller. They're trying to troll me. But now he's all but said, listen, y'all, I'm tired of playing with y'all. I'm really tired of pretending. Okay, I want these high value men for me. I want the high value men to get with each other and to get with other men. And because I'm already doing it. I don't listen. I have found my place with a high value man. Or come on out and say, I'm getting my coins up and I'm running up the bag for one of you guys. I will take care of you. I either want one of y'all to take care of me or I will take care of you. But I'm going to run up this bag. For the black men that are willing to continue, for the black men subscribers and the black men content creators that are choosing to continue to just stand by Kevin Samuels and not ask him to clarify what he's doing and what he's saying, all because of the narrative that he pushes and because you agree with some of his talking points. What you are saying that you are okay with this agenda, and you are saying that you are okay with someone who is not a heterosexual representing you. Yes, Mr. Skin So Soft. I cannot with you all heart. Yes, Will. Come on, listen. He didn't come out the closet, but honey, he is spinning in that closet. He is spinning like he is spinning like a spinning top in that closet. At this point, you cannot tell me anything otherwise. I'm sorry. No, 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 no. I'm not sorry. I am not sorry at all. Black men, if you want to date outside your race, by the way, I hope and I really and truly hope that you did not need to come around to the black manosphere space to find out that you actually had other options. Because black men have been traveling abroad, other countries, and have been dating and marrying interracially for decades. Long before there was a black manosphere. I mean, very much long time, long time, guys. It's been done. Black women are not trying to stop you from dating. Oh, that's bug. Those are $2. All heart. Those are $2 in my avatar. That's representing what Kevin Samuels wants. Kevin Samuels wants black men to advocate for men who want to be with men. No, black men, heterosexual black men, do not. I beg of you with every feminine bone in my body. I beg of you. I implore you that you do not become the voice for the homosexual, bisexual man. You need to be the voice. It is your voice that is the one. It is the heterosexual black man's voice and black man's image that is under pressure. It is your voice and your image that is being tainted and pushed away. So if anybody needs to be an advocate, The homosexual needs to be an advocate for themselves. And let me talk to the black women for a minute. Sisters. No, before I talk to you, let me talk to the transsexual, the transgender, the gender neutral female. Let me talk to you. If you get to hear this, I don't care how cute, how pretty, how fine you present yourself. You are not a woman. If you were not born with a vagina, a uterus, you are not a woman. And I will not be one to call you a woman in no certain setting. I am not sensitive at all about you. I don't care at all because I am for the natural woman first. I am pro black woman, pro natural born black woman first. Make no mistakes about it. I do not want to enter a bathroom with you. I don't want to take any makeup tips from you. I don't want any hair tips from you. I don't want any of that. And you are not me. If you are not born this way, we are not even, baby, we are not competition. I don't care who makes you feel any way otherwise. This natural born, natural created woman is going to tell you that you and I do not compare and we do not compete. You are absolutely no competition for the real thing, baby. And any man that desires you is not anyone that I would choose anyway. So you are welcome to them. Now, black women, because see, we got our own thing, and I'm going to have to get on us a little bit later. And I will get on us a little bit later. And much sooner than later, believe that. But one thing, black women, we are responsible for the images and for the voices as well that are trying to and set to represent us. No one can represent Rain and Woman. Rain and Woman is going to always let somebody know I am different. I am different in so many ways. I am a natural born woman. I am 100% comfortable and confident in all of my design and femininity and all of my womanhood. 100%. Let me take these books off my avatar. Give me a second. Give me a second. Remove the books and let me put my own Abby. But that's what he's going for. Rain and Woman ain't going. Rain Woman is not going. Nope, nope. Rain Woman is not going at all. But no. So black women, while we encourage, because I encourage you black men to stand up. You heteros, you heterosexual black men, I encourage you to stand up and speak out for yourself when it comes to your image, when it comes to your sexuality, when it comes to your character, your spirituality, your blackness, your manhood. I encourage you because if you do not, black men, if you do not stand up and speak out for yourself, you will be the voice, you will be the voice, and you will be the face of sexual deviancy, homosexuality, criminality. The face, you will be the face of evil if you do not begin to stand up and speak out. And it is your responsibility as men, not as women. It's not our responsibility. It is yours. It's your responsibility to stand up and fight for your own rights. It's your responsibility. That's what men do. That's what men do. I am not going to be lulled to sleep. Not me. And I personally, and as a woman, I will not, and I cannot, and I refuse to stand up for, support, and back up men that will not stand for themselves. I won't do it. I will slit my wrist, and I am in no way suicidal. I will slit my wrist before I stand up for weak men. And that is what you are being made to look. You're being made to look and sound and feel and be weak. You are not a woman. You cannot out bitch me. You cannot out female me. You cannot out hormone me. You're not even supposed to. You're not supposed to out complain me, out yell me, out shop me. You're not supposed to do any of those things. That's not what fucking men do. You are being misled and you are being confused by other men, not even black women. This is being done to you by other men. They want to call you instead of allowing your mothers to nurture and cuddle you. They want to call you. They want to groom you. Rain and Woman ain't going. I've got to fight and stand for me as a woman, as a black woman. I cannot stand up for me and stand up for you too. I'm not supposed to. Man, that's a man's job. And every man around me will let you know that Rain and Woman let men do what men do. I do not try to get in the way of men. And I'm not. So if your image is not important to you, why in the hell should it be important to me? This might really decrease the number of black men that I support and that I stand with and that I stand for. Because I'm not standing with and standing for every black man. I am not. I'm not going to lay down my life or any sacrifice for the average, everyday, whimsical, uncertain, unqualified, lower level, low thinking black man. I'm not. So if you don't have the guts and the nuts that it takes to fight in this world for your rights and your image, well, reigning woman ain't gonna do it for you. I'm not. And I will not encourage any other black woman to do so either. We got our own issues, we got our own things. I have to make sure that they don't try to put in front of me and in front of the women in my family that I share a crest with and a name with. A female that was not born a female as the image of me, like Caitlyn Jenner. See, that was my time. No, you will not, Mr. Jenner. You will not represent me as a woman. And especially as a black woman, no, you will not. T.S. Madison, no, you will not represent a black woman. No, you will not. You represent a transgender. That's what you represent. You do not represent a natural woman. You know who represents a natural? I am the representation. I am the fucking standard. I am the standard of a woman. Reigning woman, I am the damaged standard. I am the standard for a natural woman. I don't care to represent a transgender woman, female. That ain't my bag and it ain't my issue. Now, if you want to be called Karen when your name is Ken, and I don't know your name is Ken, okay, I will call you Karen. But I will not say that Karen, that this male that identifies as a female and wants to be called Karen is a female, is a woman. No, you're not a woman. If you're a maid in the lab, you're not a woman. Sorry, not sorry. So, black men, if you want to date and go outside of your race, you shouldn't even need somebody else thousands of miles away to tell you that you can do it and that you should do it. This is also what I mean about you yourself as men not being men, because you don't even know what your own power is. You don't even have any authority over your own self. You don't even recognize. Do you know who you are? I am convinced that the only people, men and women, that call into Kevin Samuel's show and that have to continuously surround themselves with these stupid narratives, whether they make sense or not, are the people and are trying to live their lives around them, are the people who do not know who they are. Reigning woman ain't going. You know why I'm not going? Because I know who I am. And I didn't have to come to the internet looking for someone to tell me who I am and what I deserve, what's right for me, who represents me. No, I'm not going to do it to get along, just to get along. I don't give a fuck about getting along to get along. I don't give two flying fucks about getting along just to get along. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I live. Black women, I would highly suggest that you get more comfortable in your skin, okay? Really and truly, that you get more comfortable in this. And I didn't need this thing that happened with Kevin Samuels to get this message because I've been saying this about being comfortable in your own skin. But you need to get really comfortable in your womanhood. You need to get really comfortable about your design and work on just being the best you that you can be inwardly as well as outwardly. But you better stop trying to take your tips from these transgenders. I could go on, and I will at another time. But these colored wigs, this this I'm not saying weaves are bad and extra hair and accessories are bad. I'm not saying that. But when you're taking your looks and your tips and you're imitating men who want to be women, so they do the extra. I mean, the extra, like when it's just being extra. That extra is unnatural. That extra, you got to have um, rhinestones, extensive rhinestones. Like you got to be highly decorated. Your your need and your desire to be highly decorated is an imitation of men imitating you. They have to be extra. They have to do extra to compete, to stand out from the natural woman. Reigning woman ain't going. The transgender community is not the standard. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm done. If there's anyone who would like to come up, I will. I'm gonna play some music, and if anyone would like me to drop the link and would like to join the stream, while I also catch up on the comments, I will do that. I do ask that you try to be a little bit more clean than what I was. Okay, please try. Music. Hold on. Hi, Azure. Good to see you. Trying and also to keep you, baby. Oh, to keep you, baby. Now I hurt so bad. All I feel is sad that I lost you, baby. Oh, lost you, baby. I said goodbye is a sign. Calling out, showing me that you shut the door behind you. And now I wonder why won't you come back? Love me, hold me, need me, like the way you used to do. just me and you. Don't go, I need you. Whenever I miss, I need you. Give us love another chance. Take my hand and let me have this plan. Tomorrow is another day. Sit around, waste away without you, baby. Oh, without you, baby. My life used to be blue. Now it's mostly blue. I miss you, baby. Yeah, I miss you, baby. I said goodbye with tears inside. Calling out your name and you shut the door behind you. And now I wonder why won't you come back? Love me, know me, need me, like the way you used to do. When it was me, don't go, I need you. Never miss, I need you. Give us love another chance. Take my hand, and we have this take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget what you won't let me slip into my brain. I've been thinking for myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work for you. Yeah, you always make me feel like okay. You never leave my thoughts alone. You're the reason I'm going out. I just can't stop thinking about you. Find it great when you're away, nice to see you. Do we need space? It may be a break while you're my weakness. Even if we take the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain on you. I've been thinking of myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like okay. You never leave my thoughts alone. You're the reason I'm going out. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna sing another day. You're the reason I can't get out of my bed. I just can't stop thinking about you. I'm caught up on the chat. Peace, AM1. Good to see you. Hi there. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna let this play out, and I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for joining the live stream. Please remember, Black men, to stand up and speak out for yourself, please. Because listen, there are Black women, and there are women in general that want to see men still be men. Okay? Rainy Woman is not trying to do no hard work, no construction, no heavy construction, any of that. No, I'm not. I really am not. I promise you I'm not. I've done all the hard work I'm going to do. I promise you. I'm not going to do it. Before I go, though, let me ask AM1 if he saw this. AM1, did you see the clip? Is there anyone uncertain about that missed me playing the clip, or is uncertain about the clip that I played with Kevin Samuel's statement? Okay, would you like me to play it for you? Because let me cue it up. If you want me to replay it, I will cue it up for you. I will get right there. Yes, I will. I don't think anyone will mind me doing this. Just getting down to it. Give me just a second, AM1.
Gotta move on. If I've already spoken with you, we gotta get it. Mandy, go ahead.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm well. How old are you?
Fair use.
I'm 47.
All right. So, what is the disagreement?
Well, for the majority of things, I'm pretty much agreement. But the one thing that I've noticed is a lot of times you'll mention people being too young. And then you'll reckon back to,
What's the disagreement on this topic?
Well,
you have this, please, sir.
Well,
Make it simple.
Okay, well, I'm saying
The pool of what?
The pool of women shrinks when you take out a certain amount of women who
What is the disagreement? What is the disagreement? Oh, what is the question that I asked?
the question is, should we date outside of our race or outside of our cultural groups? And I think it's a go ahead.
That's not the question. I said black men who are. I've been going for 4 hours, and I said black men who are looking to be married and have families, be fathers, solid citizens who are ready to be married. Should they expand their options if there are not enough wives that look like they're available? That's the question.
Okay, yeah. So expand meaning outside of our cultural.
Yes.
Outside
Are
of
there?
our
Yes.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. And I'm saying preferably no. Though
Preferably no.
but I'm saying preferably no.
Okay, but if they preferably no, are there? Okay.
Hold on. Who does?
You can't overtalk me. That shit won't work. Let's try this again. The way this, I'll let you say. Look, preferably is one thing, but are there, for the black men who want to marry and have children, who are ready to be married, are there enough black women who want to be wives, who are fit, ready to be wives?
And my answer is two-part. And the reason I brought in the other.
Before the two-part, could you give me a yes or a no? Before you give me the nuance, give me the concrete.
I don't think it's that concrete. That's what I'm saying. I think.
Well, no. Guys, the question I'm asking has been the same question over and over. But I feel people want to get nuance because the answer is not what they want it to be. For the black men are there enough for the black men who want to be married and are fit and ready to be married? Are there enough fit women fit to be wives and ready to be wives? Thank you. This is the same shit. That's the same. When I asked that black woman who was a counselor about the smiling, it was the same delay. The answer is no, and you know it's not. That's why you're delaying.
I don't want to lie is what the problem is. It's not.
It's not that hard of a question. Well, I don't have the numbers in front of me. They could have changed since last week's census. The fuck are you talking about? All you have to do is turn to the manosphere. All you have to do is listen to any channel where men talking about the state of the dating relationship while your kids running around making noise. They don't have wives and kids. You need to listen to if you listen to what the men are telling you, they will tell you. There's a man right here in Atlanta who was popping this same shit, and there's 17 women to one man down here. And I said, well, how many times a week in Atlanta where there's 17 black women to one black man? How many times a week in Atlanta do you run into a woman that's ready or fit to be a wife? Not that often. Do you hear that? In Atlanta, 17 to 1. And he said, in a week, not that often. So due respect to what you feel, think, whatever. I'm here in the black Mecca. So instead of telling us what you think, shut the French toast up and listen to the people who are still in the game. No offense, guys, but a lot of y'all are talking in y'all's fucking feelings. And what bothers me is men are supposed to advocate for the best outcome for men. And I'm hearing men who are stay black and get down with. Fine. Where are the black women who want to marry these men? Who want to be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and go build this Wakanda you're talking about? Where are they? Where are they? But I got to be an asshole because I'm the one that just asked the question. Cool, I'll be the asshole. I've yet to have somebody say, But anyway, let's answer this. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Oh, you got me?
How old are you?
34.
What's the noise in the background?
Uh, it's a refrigerator situation.
Oh, okay.
I'll
So
get to it quickly if you don't mind.
go ahead.
Basically, men can have the option. We shouldn't do it. Specifically because this is who we are. As far as a one drop rule, it might mean something to the masses.
Hold on. We shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it.
We should stay together.
We shouldn't do it because of black.
We should stay together.
Hold on. Hold on. We shouldn't do it ultimately because of black.
I think
One drop rule. Okay, man, sir, I'm just trying to understand. The ultimate position is we shouldn't do it because black. We're black. One drop rule. Whatever. Black.
they don't. White people
Black.
don't do it because of white.
Okay, sir, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I
Okay. Again, I'm going to try this one time again. See, it's not a hard concept. Are you saying that black men should not do it ultimately because we black? And the answer is?
The answer is yes because.
All right, then, if that's the case, then why don't the women who are black make themselves suitable wives for the men who want to stay married to black women because we black?
That is their choice.
It's not their choice. No, sir. See, therein lies the problem. Black men are holding themselves to a standard that our women aren't even holding themselves to. We're supposed to stand out and hold the line because we black, and we're not even getting. See, the problem is not that the black men don't want to be fathers in black families and be black. My preference is black, but where are the corresponding black women who are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless, who want to be our wives? See, that's where we're not getting to. So we're telling black men, hold on, black man, just wait for it to come along. When 80%, 78% of
Excuse me, someone that is obviously very new to my channel and clearly new to me. Mr. Black Pill, I'm going to get back with this in a minute, but Mr. Black Pill, sir, let me tell you something. Rain and Woman has not gone around, and I do not have not been encircled with women that go around and complain about black men all day and say black men ain't crap. Number one. Number two, as long as I am a heterosexual black woman, which is until I no longer am breathing in this physical realm, I will speak on whatever issues I want to speak on about black men because I am number one, pro black woman, pro black man, pro black families, and pro humanity and pro God. And I am a heterosexual woman. So I will speak on whatever concerns me as a black woman, which is a heterosexual black men and black men that want to stand up as long as I want to. I am the one who have a right to talk about black men. You heard? I am the one. I have more right to talk about the black man, more so than any other woman. I have a right. And don't you dare try to come onto my channel and question why I am speaking on an issue that concerns me as a black woman. I am pro God first, pro-black woman second. So you get fat, very clear, and you sit up straight in my chat room. Don't come here trying to check me about your boy if that's your boy. Okay? I don't go around questioning just any man's, especially any black man's sexuality. Let's be very clear. And Reigning Woman is surrounded by black men. So you need to get it together and get your understanding very clear, sir, or you will be escorted out of my chat room. Because I'm going to take your questioning as a form of disrespect. And I don't like it. So listen up. Go back and catch the beginning. And maybe even get familiar with my other content. And not disturb me because I'm already annoyed. In case you don't understand and haven't heard and can't feel and can't tell, I'm already annoyed, sir. They even have to address the issue, period. Thank you.
Them out overweight, obese. When a larger percent of them are single mothers, just hold on. Wait for the one or two that might come along. When you got a brother right here in Atlanta, 17-1, tell you don't even see him on a weekly basis. So ultimately, what is black going to do for that man if he doesn't have a black wife to make a black family when he dies single and childless? What happened to the black then?
I mean, that's it, man. That's literally it.
So are you saying you want the black race to die out? In that case, because that's it. No women, or would it be better for him to go make a shade of brown?
You make the point. The shade of brown is better than nothing.
That's all I'm saying. We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us. I don't care what they say. What are the women showing? That's the ultimate thing. Are the women showing what they're saying? And I don't see it. I knew this was going to run deep. All right. Let's get to the last person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. It's past 2 o'clock. That's too much. Look. Okay. You can't overtalk me. That shit won't work. Let's try this again. The way this, I'll let you say what. Look, preferably is one thing. But are there, for the black men who want to marry and have children, who are ready to be married, are there enough black women who want to be wives, who are fit, ready to be wives?
And my answer is two-part. And the reason I brought in the other.
Before the two-part, could you give me a yes or a no? Before you give me the nuance, give me the concrete.
I don't think it's that concrete. That's what I'm saying. I think.
Well, no. Guys, the question I'm asking has been the same question over and over. But I feel people want to get nuance because the answer is not what they want it to be. For the black men, are there enough for the black men who want to be married and are fit and ready to be married? Are there enough fit women fit to be wives and ready to be wives? Thank you. This is the same shit. That's the same when I asked that black woman who is a counselor about the smiling, it was the same delay. The answer is no, and you know it's not. That's why you're delaying.
I don't want to lie what the problem is. It's not.
It's not that hard of a question. Well, I don't have the numbers in front of me. They could have changed since last week's census. The fuck are you talking about? All you have to do is turn to the manosphere. All you have to do is listen to any channel where men talking about the state of the dating relationship while your kids running around making noise. They don't have wives and kids. You need to listen to if you listen to what the men are telling you, they will tell you. There's a man right here in Atlanta who was popping this same shit, and there's 17 women to one man down here. And I said, well, how many times a week in Atlanta where there's 17 black women to one black man? How many times a week in Atlanta do you run into a woman that's ready or fit to be a wife? Not that often. Do you hear that? In Atlanta, 17 to 1. And he said, in a week, not that often. So do respect to what you feel, think, whatever. I'm here in the Black Mecca. So instead of telling us what you think, shut the French toast up and listen to the people who are still in the game. No offense, guys, but a lot of y'all are talking in y'all's fucking feelings. And what bothers me is men are supposed to advocate for the best outcome for men. And I'm hearing men who are stay black and get down with. Fine. Where are the black women who want to marry these men? Who want to be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and go build this Wakanda you're talking about? Where are they? Where are they? But I got to be an asshole because I'm the one who just asked the question. Cool, I'll be the asshole. I've yet to have somebody say, But anyway, let's answer this. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Oh, you got me?
How old are you?
34.
What's the noise in the background?
It's a refrigerator situation.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to it quickly if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Basically, men can have the option. We shouldn't do it. Specifically because this is who we are. As far as a one drop rule, it might mean something to the masses.
Hold on. We shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it because of black.
We should stay together.
Hold on. We shouldn't do it ultimately because of black.
I think
one drop rule. Okay, man, sir, I'm just trying to understand. The ultimate position is we shouldn't do it because black. We're black. One drop rule. Whatever. Black.
They don't. White people
black.
do it because of white.
Okay, sir, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that.
Okay. Again, I'm going to try this one time again. See, it's not a hard concept. Are you saying that black men should not do it ultimately because we black? And the answer is?
The answer is yes, because.
All right, then, if that's the case, then why don't the women who are black make themselves suitable wives for the men who want to stay married to black women because we're black?
That is their choice.
It's not their choice. No, sir. See, therein lies the problem. Black men are holding themselves to a standard that our women aren't even holding themselves to. We're supposed to stand out and hold the line because we black, and we're not even getting. See, the problem is not that the black men don't want to be fathers in black families and be black. My preference is black, but where are the corresponding black women who are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless, who want to be our wives? See, that's where we're not getting to. So we're telling black men, hold on, black man, just wait. Wait for her to come along. When 80%, 78% of them are overweight, obese, when a larger percent of them are single mothers, just hold on. Wait for the one or two that might come along. When you got a brother right here in Atlanta, 17 to 1, tell you don't even see him on a weekly basis. So ultimately, what is black going to do for that man if he doesn't have a black wife to make a black family when he dies single and childless? What happened to the black then?
I mean, that's it, man. That's literally it.
So are you saying you want the black race to die out in that case? Because if that's it, there are no women, or would it be better for him to go make a shade of brown?
You make a point. The shade of brown is better than nothing.
That's all I'm saying. We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us. I don't care what they say. What are the women showing? That's the ultimate thing. Are the women showing what they're saying? And I don't see it. I knew this was going to run deep. All right. Let's get to last person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Let's pass 2 o'clock. That's too much. Look. Okay. I knew this was going to be a contentious topic. But I'm going to stand on my square. I'm a men's advocate. And I see far too many men, and I have seen far too many men that I know over the last 30 years who have been raised in single-parent households, who have been beta males, who have had troubles, trials, tribulations, seen the worst parts of everything, and are made themselves thorough men who, despite their best efforts, every time they try to reach out to their woman who's their counterpart, they don't want to get married. They don't want to. I know black men right now who have had to date out because there are not enough black women who want to be wives, who are fit to be their wife. There are women who say they want to be a wife, but like I said, do they have somebody else's kid? Are they agreeable? Are they? What are you getting? And what are we ultimately telling men? That being black, just wait your life out to hope. You cannot. Control what anyone does in this country. The women are going to do what they do. You can't manipulate them, you can't force them, you can't cajole them. And honestly, I've heard, and I will say this to the women: the women advocate for each other far more than the men do. But you know what? That's to be expected, because the daughters saw their mothers stand up and say, "I don't need no man," or whatever, get what you want. The daughters have been told strength. The daughters have been told to worry about yourself from the mothers. The weakness that we're seeing in black men advocating for themselves is from the weakness that's been put in them from the mothers. Whether on purpose or accidental, doesn't matter. And my ultimate point is, you matter. You matter. Your life matters. And you deserve to be with somebody who wants to be with you. I prefer it to be somebody that looks like you. But if there are not enough of them around, do you want everything to end with you? Where is the sense of urgency in our women to say, you know what? I don't want it to end with him either. So we're going to have a conversation in some point or another. I know this thing is going to get chopped and screwed and misinterpreted like a mug because people just don't listen. They don't actively listen. There are going to be people who come in here who actively come in here in bad faith and take something said in context or and out of context. The ultimate context is this: women of the group tell men of the group what they think men deserve by how they look and how they act. And I want to ask one question: how are black women telling?
Monica?
Hi,
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine and you. It's always nice to be around you.
Oh, well, likewise, and thank you. I'm very grateful to have you here.
I think he misspoke. Only because the rhetoric afterwards still aligned with a man procreating and having a family to carry on. And we know that in a male to male relationship, they can't naturally do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think it's a misspoke.
Okay. Can y'all hear her okay? Let me make sure they can hear you because I have the headset on.
Oh, could you have heard? Did you hear me?
I heard you, but I need to make sure they heard you as well. Give me just a second. And welcome, DC. Okay, yes, so they heard you. Okay, so if he misspoke, right? If he misspoke, I don't see how he couldn't have come back and said that, hey, there's a statement, I said this or whatever that came across in the last stream. Obviously, there was a misunderstanding. My words got caught up. I got caught up in my words, but that's not what I'm saying. That is clearly not what I'm saying. Here's why I say he did not misspeak. And by the way, I support and I respect your statement. Okay. So I'm not trying to, I'm stating my point respectfully. Is all I'm going to say. Okay.
You know I get that.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure because, I cut for you. So having heard Kevin speak multiple times, anytime anything was said wrong or taken out of text, he is one of those people that will say, no, I didn't say that, or that came across wrong. He is one of those people. He said, now it's not new to him to talk about black men dating out. It's not new to talk about family, right? That's not new. Okay. So that automatically would just not be contentious necessarily. He stated after that, I knew that this was going to be contentious. That statement supported, to me, literally, in a literary manner, that supported the previous statement. He was not talking fast or any faster than usual. He was very clear. And he said, I know people are going to chop this up and try to take it out of text. If he was concerned about that and he did not mean what he said with that statement, he would have isolated that statement. But he didn't. So all this time, here's what I believe, and I'm not just now believing this. I'm not just it this wasn't the only thing that made me feel what I'm about to say. In my opinion, he has been grooming his audience for the LGBTQ community. and the agenda and the homosexual sexual deviancy agenda, sexual immorality agenda. And this is just that statement for me, in my opinion, is him exhibiting the final stages of grooming. When people like, let me see if AM1 is in the back, by the way, and he is. I'm gonna welcome AM1 as well to the stream. Welcome AM1. Let me finish this statement, and then you can follow up if you want to, Monica, and then we'll let AM1 speak as well. Okay.
Okay.
And thank you for your patience. So, in my opinion, he's exhibiting the final stages of grooming. When people are grooming you, they are not going to come out and say what their outright what their agenda is, because that blows the cover. The idea of grooming, I'm sure you already know this about grooming. I'm just saying for the audience, for listeners. The idea of grooming is to get you comfortable, to make you feel safe, to get you relaxed, and to get you comfortable with me whispering and saying things to you, addressing things that like voids or complaints in your life, in your areas, taking advantage of that vulnerability for my own purpose. And then the closer you get to me, the more, and I advance in my stages, then I can come out without even being upfront, because you're already close to me. It's to get you so close and so intimate with me that by the time I come out with my agenda, you're already wrapped. You're already fully engaged. You're already a part of me. You're already attached. Does that make sense?
The grooming concept, I understand it. I don't know this guy because I don't watch him.
Uh-huh.
So I can't speak to his overall motives or observing his motives as you are speaking. Only because I don't watch him.
Right.
So I can't speak to that. All I know is what I heard, and then I
Mm-hmm.
listened to what he said afterwards. And one thing I know about this being on this platform is that people love arguments,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they love arguing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
it makes for engagement. And that's why um, he said what he said in respect to this was going to be controversial. He's looking for controversy,
Contentious.
well,
Contentious.
contentious, but he's looking for the controversy all the time. This is why his platform is popping right now, and there's so many people with a visual on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I will tell you that the men that I've spoken with that watch him, which is odd for me, is married men in relationships with their spouses are watching him, and they're talking off of his talking points as a couple. So I find that weird, but it works for other people, whatever floats
Mm-hmm.
their boat around here. So I would hate to see later on down the line if this sexuality comes to fruition,
Mm-hmm.
and how they would accept that path.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
there's always more to come, and I really can't elaborate on his motives only because I don't watch him.
Right. And I
So,
can respect that. But I also respect you definitely for coming up and asking your question and making sharing your perspective and
mhm,
everything. I appreciate that.
okay.
It's a
I'll,
pleasure to have you, Monica.
Anytime. I'll see you later.
Okay,
Wait,
thank you.
Monica, do you have to
Yeah.
go?
No, I don't have to go, but I just
Oh, I didn't know, Randy. You trying to do people one at a time? Because I was curious. Because obviously I came in because I was trying to come in on the stream on my phone, but then did on my computer. But that was
okay.
interesting how you said. I was listening to you caught that. You said you thought it was a slip up. So it's interesting. A woman who is seeing this in a objective way, meaning that you haven't heard a lot from Kevin Samuels. You don't really have an opinion on him, so you're not more inclined to say something that
Oh,
could.
I have an opinion on him.
Oh, okay.
I can't stand men who try to raise grown women. Like women issues should be left for the women and men issues should be left for the men. That's my personal.
Okay,
So
that's
that's
that's an
why I
interesting
don't
thought.
watch him. Yeah, that's why I don't watch him. I don't need a grown man to raise me as a woman.
That's interesting. That raised an interesting whole other sidebar question or thought in my mind because uh, watching Kevin Samuels is super interesting because he brings up a lot of things that are relative to what men think, what women think. But ultimately, if you're going to talk about coupling and relationships, then it gets into the idea of what do men think about women or what do women think about men? Because now it's what does the other side think about the other side in relation to if we're going to come together. So to when you phrase it as raising women, is it or could it be that it's more a thing of, well, if a woman wants to be with me or be married or whatever, and I'm the person who sort of is the gatekeeper to that, here's what I'm going to need. Here are my preferences. Is that more a matter of, is that raising or is that just saying, hey, here's kind of what I need from you to make this happen on your end? Because that seems like more like what he's doing.
Okay, so is he the one marrying all these women out here?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question.
Is he speaking to all the women that come on his platform because he's interviewing them for his potential next wife? Because at the end of the day, when a woman is with a man, they should be communicating with each other in order to establish what kind of relationship they're trying to build.
So you're saying more of a one-on-one thing, but I think there's something we said about the idea of like across the board, if there is a type of man of a certain caliber, a certain stature, whatever, like it is generally true that women, for the most part, will say they want a guy who's this, and this. You know what I mean? Like certain attributes, right?
No, I don't know what you
No.
mean.
Oh, well, just the idea of that. Well, obviously, women theoretically want a guy who's successful to whatever degree, right? Who's attractive to whatever degree, right? That's generally, I'm speaking in generalities, right? That for the most part is true. They want a successful man who's attractive, who's tall, who's strong, who's all these positive attributes, right?
Every you can't make a blanket or general approach to what every woman is looking for when each woman may be seeking something different.
But are there baseline things that just are fundamental male traits that, for the most part, women are looking for? Like we could boil it down to women who are heterosexual want to do it. They got a dick and balls, right? Like, well, at least we can whittle it
Okay, but
down, you know?
that's not the man he defines. He defines a man as being a high value man. So the woman that he's talking to, his target there are women seeking high valued men.
Right. That's what I'm talking about as far as
Okay, so
attributes.
that's that category. So if they want to be over there and have a grooming session, I'm gonna use Rain and Woman's word, on how to attract a high value man, then they can go right ahead and continue as if he's the end all on that spectrum, because there's no evidence right now that the men watching him are all high value, because the men that just jumped up there on that platform to answer the questions that they were answering from a visual didn't look like what he defined as a high value man.
That's an interesting point. I agree. I'm more referring to the idea of the women who are calling in based on the generalities and the ideas. But I don't know. I mean, that's kind of off the topic, but that's interesting though. to think about
Right,
it.
I can only
But
go off of what I seen here, and I did go look for his video because I wanted to know what a high value man was and if he had a definition for it. So I was impressed that he had a definition for one, but they
no, I
didn't.
like it. A lot of what you're saying
Mhm.
right now, I feel like is a lot more mature and like honest and objective than most people because despite that you don't agree with some of his approach or thought process, you're still able to objectively look at some of what's going on, see it for what it is. So that's dope. In other words, some people will be like, I don't like Kevin Samuels. I hate him. He hates black women, this, that, and the third. So I'm gonna wanna say that what clearly was a slip up wasn't a slip up because I'm motivated by some way he made me feel. So that's dope that you're not doing that. So it's weird to me that grown ass, supposedly grown ass people do that. And especially when it's men, because then it's like, really, bro? Like, what's going on here? Because it's not even about Kevin Samuels defending this guy or whatever. For me, I'm just like, can black folks be less hyper emotional, more strategic, more logical? Can we use all of our analytical faculties? Because war is being waged on us from so many sides now. We got this whole extra chemical, biological warfare thing going on top of all the other historical stuff. And this is the time where we need to really focus and not allow these emotional things to be pulling us this way and that way. So I'm more about that than anything. In this whole Kevin Samuels thing, relationships and all that, ultimately it's kind of a head fake and a distraction anyway. We're dealing with societal collapse. Mainstream media has just totally dismantled the whole coupling thing. So it's kind of a waste of time to even deal with that. But I get it. It's interesting. It's entertaining to some degree, sociology and all that. He makes some interesting points, but at the same time, it's like he's just some dude. So whatever about defending him, but the ultimate point is this. He said this thing in a stream that was 4 hours. I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw Super Sly. He did a video on the clip, and it was hilarious the way he did it because he like looped him saying that one part over and over, men being with men or whatever he said. I'm paraphrasing it. The bottom line is this: for a year and a half or so, he's been saying a lot of things in a consistent sort of pattern, and he repeats the same stuff over and over a lot. So
Yeah,
if any
on these platforms, we refer to that as predictive programming, which would align with Rain and Woman's breakdown of grooming.
no, because I'm not even talking about the grooming concept. I'm talking about the idea of this.
No,
Just
predictive programming, the
I understand.
repetitive,
I
consistent.
understand. That's not predictive programming. Means that beforehand you insert certain ideas and then later reveal those. That's not what he's doing, or at least that's not what I'm referring to. Because you didn't let me finish my thought. And I know I'm kind of long winded here, but I'm just trying to pin down a couple of things and tie it all together. Ultimately, his message has been consistent about high value man, what that means, and ultimately saying if a woman wants to pursue or be married to or chosen by a high value man, here's the things she'll need to do, and ultimately leading to marriage for black people. That has been his most consistent message, objectively provable through countless shows. So if we're all experiencing the same objective reality, we know that's the case. That is the case. It's facts for anybody who's watched him. Now, if during one stream, a 1 4 hour stream, he said something that's counter to that and says something about men being with men, it's not even counter to that. It would be something additional to that. If we look at that mathematically on a pie chart, out of 100% of the time, how many times has he said something that deviated from his overall message? It's straight math. You know what I mean? Like, let's take all the emotion, how you feel about him, whatever, out of it. Simple math. If he said this thing one time, 99 other times he says this, how do we zone in on that one time and then say that's his whole message? That's stupid. Nobody in their right mind would think that makes sense. That's it.
Okay. And both of you very well spoken, and I can appreciate where you're coming from. Let me say this, okay? Because of the stand that I have for heterosexuality, I will speak up and I will use my voice on that stand, and I will be as blunt, as blatant, as loud, and as vocal about it because I see the attack on the heterosexual person and families, period. Now, he also said, this. I understand the urges. After he said there were several supporting things. I'm not negating any of his other messages, okay? And what he said, about relationships and wanting men and women to get together, but he has subtly put other things in there. And Raining Woman ain't going with the subtlety. If he misspoke for a woman like myself, that's for that is pro heterosexuality, in order for me to retract my statement, because I'm not retracting it, I'm doubling down. I am standing on my square. Like he said, he gonna stand on his square. I am standing on my square. This statement is not a statement for the heterosexual black man.
Well, Brandon, let me address that. Let me interject a little bit, if I may.
Of course you may.
I actually agree with everything you're saying, except that I think that a conclusion is being arrived at based on mathematically, objectively, information that is limited. He said something that easily could obviously be a slip up relative to the overall 4 hour discussion and the body of work, and let's just say the last year. So again,
Mhm.
that pie chart analogy, that whole concept, when you look at it that way, I think it's a dangerous game, because that means that, Rainy, I've known you in these YouTube streets for years.
Mhm.
For the most part, we've always been cool. Your messages have been consistent in
And
support
we're
of the
still gonna be.
black community. Right. Always consistent in support of and with love for the black community. If some kind of way at some point you said something in some contentious discussion that could somehow be misinterpreted as some type of lack of love or support for the black community, and didn't catch it and didn't address it straight away, and then if everybody zoned in on you and started doing live streams saying, "Oh, Randy Woman said this," that wouldn't be cool. So that's basically what everybody's doing to this guy in this situation. And again, it's whatever. Now, I totally agree that there is an agenda about dismantling the image of black men, and obviously the assault on heterosexuality and dismantling the family. That's objectively provable as well. Like, I take all the emotion out of it and just look like strategically there's an enemy. They're trying to attack us. They're trying to socially engineer and tear everything down on a lot of different levels. I totally agree with that. And could this guy be some kind of agent who's trying to do this? Maybe so. It's to be determined. But it's a slippery slope if you take one thing that somebody said that, in all honesty, could be a slip up.
If
Because
it's a slip up, he is a grown man. He is a grown man. He is in his 50s, right? If it's a
sure,
slip up, he knows how to correct it. If it's a
sure, and
slip
he
up,
might, and he
and he
might.
might. And so in the event that he does, if Rain and Woman has no problem, I have no problems with apologizing, being corrected, even retracting anything. If I did anything that was wrong and out of line, I have no problem. Now, I will say this though, y'all know Rain Woman can be petty. It can be a little stubborn. So if I'm having a petty streak or a stubborn moment, then maybe not so fast. But in the heart of hearts and on serious matters, seriously, I will do so, especially when it comes to talking about someone's character, because I am very, very big on character.
Is
I
that
don't,
date the 20th? That's October 20th on the screen that he had this
I believe so.
okay.
It is titled Modern Women Should Compete, something along those lines.
Right. No, I was looking at the date because
Uh-huh.
it
It was like a
streamed
Monday.
live
It was like
October
last Monday.
20th. So has he been live since then?
Oh no, it was a Wednesday. Okay, it's a Wednesday show. I
I'm
don't think
not
he has been.
sure if he has or
Well,
hasn't.
I thought his shows were only for people that were sub to him or something.
Nah,
People
anybody can
that
see
pay.
him. Anybody can see
Oh,
him.
they just can't chat.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Has he even been live since then? Maybe he will. Maybe he doesn't even know that he slipped up
Oh,
at that
he
point. It was a
knows.
4 hour show. I'm just saying. All I'm doing is this. I'm just saying, just speculating because I'm looking at it from the standpoint of this. I've been rocking with this whole Black YouTube, Black Minister thing for years, and I've seen so many different conflicts and different things arise. And I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, hey, we have this tool that these people didn't set up for us that we can actually use it to build with each other versus black folks being black folks and hurt and traumatized and tearing each other down. Let's not be so quick to do that. That's it. Silly me. Thinking,
Mhm.
okay, let's really be about this blackety black shit that we talk about and not just be trying to tear each other down. Now, do we keep our eye on people who could theoretically be agents and have some agendas? Absolutely. But we got to be careful about when we start really attributing things to them without absolute hardcore evidence. Now, he obviously said something that sounds shady. Now I think, or it sounds funny style. It sounds questionable. It sounds suspect. In the context of everything else he said in a 4 hour stream, or for the body of the last year, you cannot take one little sentence and then try to say that that's some whole agenda. There's no way in
According
this
to
world that is a logical thing to. No logical adult human being can possibly rock with.
according to Rainin woman, right? And I don't mean to cut you off, but just you did say you was a little winded, long
Yeah, go
winded.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
But
Go ahead.
she did give other examples that also supported her suspicion.
Things from that. No, I mean, think about it this way.
So she
He
said
said.
he
He
had a
said.
stream where some dude was in the bed or in a bed while they was on the stream, and he gave some references to it. So she gave some other things that if you saw that happen. So if this was something, so for me, it's the first time I'm seeing this, hearing this, I can feel the way I feel. But somebody else that's seen some other things go down might not feel the same way. Just like you have your analytics on, what's not mathematically possible. Maybe there's some things over there in her math equation that just are not mathematically possible too.
No, no, I get that too. I'm fully aware of that whole situation with the dude on camera in the bed and whatnot. But that was somebody else who called in, some weird caller. I'm
Right.
fully aware of all of that. But let's be honest, I have seen photos and pictures of him with interesting man purse type things, and obviously with the dress and metrosexual shit and the perfumes and all that. I totally get where people are coming from when they say some of the shit he does is suspect. So again, I'm just being fully objective about it. Grand scheme of things, he is saying things that ultimately could be beneficial to the black community. Could he be some kind of agent? That's still yet to be determined. In this one instance, we got men and women who are jumping to the conclusion of he said this one line out of a 4 hour stream. Nobody wants to address that. Nobody in the chat wants to address that. Everybody is tap dancing around this thing. He said what he said. Okay. But what else did he say to support that? Why? What is the breakdown in adult logic, analytical faculties that makes people just sidestep that? That makes zero sense.
Well, one thing I did not do was, and I think your mic might be doing something, AM1. It was a little staticky while you were talking.
Oh, damn it.
It didn't happen when Monica spoke. It only happened.
No, it's these damn headphones.
Okay. So I didn't just play him and loop that statement. I played way ahead of that so that it wasn't taken out of text and to give it context. Now again, I don't take lightly just putting someone's name, especially when it comes to talking about character
Mm-hmm.
in my titles. I do not do that. And if Kevin Samuels was just a low volume voice, pretty much like a nobody, like a much smaller audience, really wouldn't have much relevance to me. But because he does have a larger audience and a larger platform, which means more listeners, which means more influence, then yes, I am going to. And because it is something that is very important to me. Now, see, I'm not here to gauge, judge, neither do I care. about the significance of the matter to others. Because I don't wake up every day hoping that things that are significant to me is significant enough to other people for me to want to say something or do something to make me feel comfortable or make me feel good. I don't give a shit. It's about what's important to me. And I started my stream off by saying that I would like to keep it clean. I will try to, but because of the intensity and the passion that I have with this matter, because it is dear to me, I might slip up. I might let it go as far as not being so clean. So it could have been Kevin Samuels. It could have been anybody. I don't rightly care. And one, I think you've been around enough to know that Rain and Woman has not gone on no campaign saying black men shouldn't travel. No, I didn't know that the black men on the internet needed other men to tell them that they could travel and date outside their race. Because as long as I've been here, I've seen black men traveling and going outside their race. And Rain and Woman has not tried to stand in the way of any of them doing any of that. Not one single bit. I didn't know that they needed that. I was news to me. But be that as it may, out of all the things that he said and done or whatever, and as long now there are some things that had me suspect about him. Being suspect and just suspect is one thing. And like I told Mr. Blackpill that I had politely escorted out of my chat room, um, is that I don't go around and just looking at every black man and saying this black man is gay, this one's gay. Just thinking that every black man I come in contact with is gay, homosexual. Furthermore, even if they are, I don't go on a campaign saying, hey, you know what, let me speak against this black man because he's gay. No, my thing is I'm not going to let I'm not going to let anything less than a heterosexual black male in my presence and anything that I am encircling around be the image representing black men as a whole. I absolutely refuse. And why? Because I love the black men and the black boys around me. And the black men and the black boys around me are to be men, act like men, walk like men, talk like men, and do men shit.
I agree. I love it.
They don't get to complain and cry and whine like I do. I'm not going to let the black boys and the black men around me out bitch me on no day, even if I'm not feeling bitchy. You're not going to out female me. You're not going to out complain me. You're just damn it not going to do it. Now I will allow some tears and I'll allow some complaints, but you're not going to complain all damn day without a solution because that's not what men do. You're not gonna I strut. I don't walk. I strut. You're not going to outstrut me. And we share the same crest and the same family name. Oh no, you're not going to outstrut me. You're not going to out. You're not going to put on a dress and try to outdress me in a dress. I'll be god damn. So I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to be on a part of a YouTube platform and see anything that I find threatening that in any way. I don't give a damn about what a black man does. I would hope it is because I know you don't really believe in God, but I do. Okay. I would prefer that black men really, it, men in general, but especially black men, were more careful with their seed and their peen. I really would. But I am not trying to police any man that's not mine and that I don't share a bed with or DNA. I'm not trying to police your penis. I'm protecting my uterus, my womb, my vagina. That's what I need to protect. So I'm not trying, so I protect and I police my woman parts. I help direct, I help nurture the men and the boys around me. Not police, but guide and teach because I can with wisdom. So that's not what any of this is about. But just like when that man, that celebrity, paraded himself on a red carpet event with a tuxedo dress, and I said, "Oh, nah,
Uh-uh.
nope." No, 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 no. You're not going to parade Mr. Porter. You're not going to parade a red carpet event in a tuxedo dress, and they're going to say that this is the man, this is the image of masculinity. Not as long as reigning woman is a heterosexual black woman. I be god damned. I be damned. I
Eh,
be damned.
as much as you feel that, believe me, I feel it 1,000 times more than you. I mean, that's a direct assault on an extension of me, like my masculinity, my manhood. So, with the social engineering and psychological warfare that these people are doing, coming directly at us, and they're coming at us. I mean, they're doing their things with women as well, but they hitting the men and the women from different angles. But obviously,
Mhm.
it's a social engineering, psychological warfare campaign, big time. So when they want to do the whatever Billy Porter stuff and parade these guys around, brothers like myself are watching that and looking at that and just like, okay, we see what's going on, and we got to just be on top of our game even more and just representing where I'm at. I'm over out here in the Bay Area, and we're just watching dudes either become more hyper thug, hyper fem thug. It's just weird hybrid of stuff that's going on. And just dudes just walking around real soft, and they just even having no real spine and just weird. And everybody got masks on, so the energy is even more low and just weird. It's hyper liberal California, so it's just all bad. So I'm looking around like we're in a lack of real men with some real backbone that really understand what we're doing out here. And I agree with the whole sitting around complaining and all that. Black YouTube manosphere is a lot of that goes on where it's just complain, complain, complain. That's why I kind of fell back off a lot of this stuff because it's like dudes just sitting here crying. I was like, let's talk about solutions. Let's talk about skills and resources. Let's talk about really building. However, if you're going to do a show like KS and keep addressing the same thing, and in my opinion, he's wearing out some of the same topics over and over again too much. But he actually has offered and provided solutions. He's directing it at men, and he's basically saying, "Hey, men operate with a certain level of discipline and choose carefully or choose in certain ways, and women, if you care about that and what these type of men think, then you might want to adapt some of these thought processes." So, I mean, there's solutions going on there. There's give and take.
So, um, he said he was going to stand on his square. And standing in on his square, if he doesn't come and say that he misspoke, that this was a misunderstanding, this will stay up just like this without any follow up unless I choose to do a roast. But this, I I cannot be any more clearer. As clear as I intend to be as clear. I am not misspeaking. I have never gotten so frustrated, and I talk pretty fast a lot of times. Especially if you talk to me on the phone, I talk pretty fast sometimes. I have never, even in being frustrated and being upset in the middle of chaos, even being in delirium, I have never slipped up and said, I think we need to be together. I think we need to advocate for women to be with women. Never.
If I'm not mistaken, the whole point of the show was about the idea of should black men consider dating outside of just what cultural black women or what American black women. That was the whole theme of the show, right?
Well, let's get it's modern women because that's the new woman that he's talking about. As he, because that's his method of shifting away from it being a black woman issue now to just being a woman issue and being more of a modern woman. I don't know if he got a video on how he defines modern women,
Excuse me
but
really quickly.
I must show.
Excuse me really quick. I'm sorry. I blocked Black Pill because it's my channel, my chat room. He decided to be an all-out Kevin Samuels cheerleader, and I say no, thank you, and I removed him. Now, if you have any further questions, Mr. Ryan, we will not miss you either. You have only one more time to make a statement that even seems like you are even subliminally being disrespectful to me or condescending or gaslighting me, and you'll be seen out. Only one more time. There are millions of other channels out there that you can listen to. You did not have to be here, and you still do not have to be here. He has Kevin Samuels has been around, been doing content longer than I have. You are welcome to go back to his channel and consume his content. You do not have to be here. Continue. Thank you. Sorry.
I'm gonna skedaddle. But it was nice meeting you, am I? Am I? Um am
No,
I?
no,
AM1. It's
it's a woman.
AM1.
You know, yeah,
No,
nice meeting you. You know, speaking with you. Like I said before, a big respect on that. 'Cause I like talking to people, and especially women. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but where it's like, can really talk with logic and just adult, like to the degree where it's like you might feel a certain way, but don't let that just override all the other faculties we have. So that's big respect for that.
well, I appreciate that. I'll see you around, Raina.
Okay, thank you, Monica.
All right.
And I respect that as well. And when I respect your objectivity, and I appreciate you coming on the panel. You're welcome to finish saying anything else that you want to say.
Yeah, no. And I appreciate you, Randy. Obviously, I haven't talked to you in a while, seen you in a while on this piece. I've been kind of off and on myself, just out in the real world, making some moves and preparing for all the foolishness and craziness we got going on. But I still
Thanks.
am always been on YouTube, soaking up a lot of different stuff, whole stuff that's outside of Black YouTube, Black Manosphere, whatever. Got
Yeah.
some big stuff. We got major issues out here. You've done streams addressing some of this stuff, but even relative to this, Black folks talk all the black community, all this good stuff, hearts and flowers. Where we gonna go? But we cannot be so quick to try to tear each other down. I mean, obviously, like I said before, keep an eye open for the agents that's out here running operations and doing weirdo stuff, but we got to be cognizant of the different threats and make sure that we're not hurting our own situation by jumping on
Mm-hmm.
people too quick and labeling people and calling people out in different ways that aren't legitimized. We got to be strategic about this stuff because we got enough flack coming from other known historical enemies. You know what I mean? We can't
Mm-hmm.
self-destruct. It can't be friendly fire. So we got to stay on point. We got to be sharp. We can't let the hyper emotional stuff. Somebody says something you don't like. I'm not you specifically, but just for the people out there listening to this. Somebody says
Mm-hmm.
something I don't like and make me feel some kind of way. So I don't like them. So now any opportunity that I get to say something that tears them down, I'm gonna jump on that. That's just stupid. That's just
Mm-hmm.
it's weak, it's stupid on so many levels. And ultimately it just blows up in our own face.
Yeah,
We gotta do better.
I agree with that. But you know what? I'm gonna say this though. You know what, AM1? Unfortunately, but in reality, not everyone qualifies to fight with me and stand on my team. And I'm sure I don't qualify to stand on everyone's team as well. And we have to be willing to separate ourselves from those that just cannot, those like people that, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not I'm not here to try to cater to or try to fight for those that are destructive to humanity as a whole. And if we're destructive to the black community, within the black community, I can't, I personally cannot ride with you. No. I have to draw a line in the sand and eliminate. Eliminate all weak links.
Yeah, no, I can feel
Only
that.
the strong will survive.
I feel it.
I appreciate you.
I know it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Nice hearing you. Nice hearing your voice. Your little voice.
I know my little, I know my vanilla Twinkie. Anyway,
Some people that are listening right now, they don't know me and Brandon go back. They don't know.
you continue to do what you need to do and keep your head on a swivel. I promise you, I will do my very best to remain fair and square.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Respect.
All right, love. I'm out.
Okay. So everyone, I think I'm going to play. I don't think anyone else has any more comments. I've been pretty much keeping up with them in the chat room. I'm going to play one more exit song and we're going to be out. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Let me make sure no one else is in the back. Okay, yes. I want you guys to have a wonderful day, evening, life. And here we go.
Running juice, they sold out my crown. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup it. Don't waste my energy. I don't got much, so we wasting all the energy. Keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine. I thought you was like mine, but let me find out you can go around throwing shots, running life. Come on, man. But I thought I was blessing. And only for the very sense. What's wrong, you won't be for me. Yeah, I'm go through. Just to go through. Then what you think you would say my name true. True. Tell the money in my mind right now. Running you think so out my crown. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup it. Don't waste my loyalty. I let you in back there because I couldn't see. afraid you ain't never been true to me. Intuition ain't never had an answer. I lay patience, do what you think you need to do to get you moving. But you won't break me down with me. What's the point of no return? I'm on a mission. But about listen, but only for the very sense. What's wrong, you won't be for me. Yeah, I'm a go. Just a girl. But baby, what you want me for me? What you been saying my name, Joe? Joe. Tell me money in my mind right now. Why did you stay so loud? Sorry to tell you, I know about you. I'm gonna be cool. Don't waste my
Silva, I just saw in the chat room that someone was asking about the link. Did you want to come up, Silva, before I end the stream? If not, I'll just end it. Silva. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, hey, Silva.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the panel. You haven't been up here in a long time.
It's been a long time since I've been up here. Let me see if everything is where I left it. There's a lava lamp over there. The futon is still there. Okay, everything's still here to where I left it. Okay, cool.
What you got, Silva?
I was listening to the conversation, and what confuses me so much about Lord KS is that I don't understand the processing that goes with people when they're like trying to analyze what he says instead of just taking in what he said for what he said. The guy, and I've watched enough of his content. I don't watch him anymore, but these, questionable slip ups are like a constant thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm trying to understand is, is it okay for like heterosexual black men to have like questionable motives when it comes to building up other heterosexual black men? If that's the MO and if that's acceptable, then fine, you know? But
Mm-hmm.
there just needs to be a little clarity because for me, I have an idea of what that kind of community should look and sound like. But when, I look at a guy like, Kevin Samuels and I hear these questionable clips all the time from him, that's not what I imagine. That's not what I envision. And the over analyzing and just trying to distract from what's actually being said. Like I'm like in no simple way could I sit in a room full of men and tell men that men should be okay to accept their urges,
Mm-hmm.
their desires to be with other men and not be a comment that just goes in passing and we continue on with the conversation.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I almost forgot. I think it's been deleted since, but there was a comment in the chat room during that live stream
Uh-huh.
that quoted what Kevin Samuels said, and he pulled it up on display, and he had it on display for a long time.
And it was what he had just said verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what I'm kind of see, because I'm not emotionally connected to it like that, but I see things for what it is, right? So if I'm seeing this guy constantly kind of say this, because he's advocated for the LGBT before,
Mm-hmm.
he's done it
Mm-hmm.
before.
Yes, he has.
So this is like a constant thing with him. So I'm just simply trying to understand, as a hetero black man, like what exactly is the move for hetero black men? Because when you hear them talk about Kevin Samuels, he speaks the word of God. He speaks the word of the universal language of men and their predicament, around the globe. And he speaks the golden truth. And then you hear him utter lines like, the gay community should defend its people, or black men should embrace being with black men. And like it's confusing to me, because I get
Mm-hmm.
confused with that, because I know older black men that have spoken up against things like that, and they've been very clear in what it is and what it's not. And then I hear this online, and then it begins to confuse me, because I know what I'm hearing, but then people are telling me that I heard something different, or I shouldn't I shouldn't take what I heard all the way as what I did hear, because it didn't really have anything to do with what the majority of what else has been said or what he says, even though it's something that he does quite often. So a little bit of gaslighting against their own cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I mean, if black men want to embrace their urges, I'm not going to stop people from being happy.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna play another song, and I'm gonna be right back, okay? Hold it down for
Uh,
me.
okay, I'll be all right. I'll be right here. Jack Spade says, "Homie over heels." Jack, you homie over heels.
Without your love, it's like I've been waiting all over you. Why did it take so long to come to me? Maybe you were waiting around for me to show you. Some kind of wonderful, some kind of magical one. My love is for real. I need to show you right now. Look at me now. Walking on a cloud nine.
Okay, so if you guys can see my avatar that I'm using now, do you guys see my avatar? The avatar is a screenshot that I took of him displaying a comment that quoted him saying, advocate, advocate for men who want to be with men. You know what? Maybe I should make that the thumbnail for the video. What you think? Silva?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you and I can see you, and I see that comment. I see the quote verbatim. I see you have it highlighted on his channel. And all I got to say is, um, when do we be honest with ourselves? Or when do they be honest with themselves? I'm honest with myself. I don't got no urges like that. But I'm saying, like, when are people gonna just be honest? Like, when does the defending stop? Because sooner or later, it's gonna have to stop, because it just doesn't make any more sense. I mean, that's pretty obvious. That's a pretty obvious statement. That's not a misquote. That's not misspeaking. That's not oops, a Freudian slip. That's a verbatim. I stand by that comment. So when are they go see what happens is this, right? With cognitive dissonance, like dissonance, not dissonance, dissonance, cognitive dissonance. You're not going to be able to come to terms with the fact that you're wrong, that you've been wrong, that you've been had, bamboozled, led astray. Like, you're not going to be. It's going to be hard to come to terms with "You've been played,"
Mm-hmm.
but they're gonna have to come to terms with this one. You're gonna have to come to terms and understand that you've been played and you've been had and you're being had right now. You're being played. You have what most would consider an agent, and he's gaslighting you, and he's manipulating you, and he's playing you for a fool right in your face, and you don't even see it because you think the point that he's making about relationships is more important than the very fact that he's telling you that instead of finding a quality black woman that's not out there, you should think about being with a man. You'll have more fun.
Welcome, Wolf and Beta Clothes. Yeah, I completely forgot that I had this screenshot until a few minutes ago. Yeah, he had every opportunity before he ended that stream, say, to correct that statement, to pull back, and he did not.
No, he didn't pull back. He didn't correct himself. He put the comment up there in the super chat because he stands by that. That's where he stands. He stands on that. That's what he believes. He said it. He know what he said. It wasn't even the time. It's even more different than the time when he had the man in his bed on the stream.
Right, right. Welcome, Kev 504. Right, exactly. That,
So,
people are still trying to even defend that, right? Listen, the man had a man in his bed.
and I know, and again, like I know, I use OBS. I use OBS a whole lot. I know, and he uses Ecamm. I know what a scene transition looks like. I know what that looks like. Okay,
Oh,
I
but
know.
he's a technician.
I am the technician. I know what a scene transition with a video source, capture source looks like. I know what that looks like. So again, it's gonna have to come to terms sooner or later, and it's gonna be, and you may want it to be rather sooner than later. You're gonna have to just come to terms and say, we've been had, we've been bamboozled, we've been led astray, and we've been run amok. He got us. We got him to 1 million, and he shifted his narrative. And matter of fact, ain't it funny? Didn't I tell you that he was eventually going to start changing up what he was talking about?
You did. You did.
I told you he was going to eventually start swerving it up. He's going to swerve it up a little bit, and he's going to switch it up a little bit. And he's starting to switch it up right now. But hey, I mean, if you stand for that, and if black heterosexual men are defenders and they feel acquainted with the LGBTQIA plus gender, non-gender binary, gender fluid, I mean, hey, I'm not going to stand in the way of you being happy and you being accepted. I'm just saying it would help us, guys like me, if guys that defend this and try to critique this and overanalyze this and deflect it, if you would just be honest and be more straightforward and upfront, so guys like me on the other side won't be so confused because, seeing this and hearing what people say about logic, it confuses me.
Hmm. Wolf in Better Clothes says most of what he says doesn't apply to black men, though. Y'all, please forgive me for hearing an echo now because I took the headset off. But
Got a, got a big office.
right. Um, most of what he says doesn't apply to black men, though, but a majority of his audience is black men, and he's in the black manosphere. He represents the black manosphere, and he was speaking about the options for black men.
I mean, see again, like comments like that are why I said what I just said. Like, I'm just trying to understand, like, are men going, or are these men, are these guys that that watch this, are they going to just admit that they're defenders, of the LGBTQIA plus gender binary, non-gender fluid community? Because again, if we're talking about logic and critical thinking, if he's talking about black men and then he says, let me just, can you read that quote again? Because I can't see it on my screen.
And Wolf, you're welcome to come up on the panel. Wolf says, let me go ahead and put the headset back on. He says most of what he says
No,
doesn't
I know.
apply
Yeah, I
to
saw
black.
that. No, the quote that you have on your avatar. What does it say again?
Oh, it says advocate for men who want to be with men.
So so again, I'm just confused, right? Because I know Kevin Samuels is speaking to black men because he talks to black men. Says his show is for black men because he talks about black women in the relationships with black men. So when he says a comment like that, I know he's talking to black men, but the people who deflect for him will say he's not talking to all black men. So which group of black men does Kevin Samuels want to advocate and be with other men? Which group of black men that watch him is he talking to? At certain points when he says something different, is that an automatic switch to talk to a different community of black men that aren't representative of who he actually speaks to, or who's in his chat room, or who's in his comment sections and other people comment sections defending him when people make commentaries about him? Like, who are the men that Kevin Samuels is telling to embrace their urges? Who are these
Right,
men? Who are the men? Who are the black men he's talking to?
right. Let me adjust. So let me respond to back to Wolf and for the listeners. This is why I say Wolf in beta close. If he doesn't speak for you as a heterosexual black man, and from what I know of Wolf and Beta Close, he is a heterosexual black man. If he does not speak, if what he says does not apply to you and black men like you, then you have to be the one to say that. You can't really say, well, it doesn't apply here and it doesn't apply there. You have to literally say it doesn't apply to you. You have to make it personal. I would take it as a woman, as a black woman, as a natural black woman. I will take it very personal. Matter of fact, not take. Let's say, let's say the whole Bruce Jenner transgender Caitlyn Jenner. I take that personal that this is representing like a woman and like gets to win some type of woman award. No, you are a transgender. We are not in the same, we're not the same gender. We do not share the same sexuality, the same makeup. You are not a woman. You were made in a lab. So it is not the same. It's not the same. Black men, he says, advocate for men who want to be with men. And I have to question the logic. And this is not geared towards you, Wolf and Beta Close. I have to question the logic and the ability for a black man to really think on his own, if he can listen to what I'm saying and think that what I am saying is against him. Because what I am saying, black men, what I am saying, heterosexual, especially specifically heterosexual black men, what I am saying to you is that you should not advocate for men who want to be with men. I am saying that the heterosexual black man should not advocate for homosexuality, for homosexual men. I am saying that the heterosexual black man needs to advocate for other heterosexual black men. Now, how does what I say get lost unless you honestly cannot relate to women as a man? Which says a lot about you and not a thing about me. Because heterosexual men that are 100% without a shadow of a doubt, 100% heterosexual around me will clearly understand what I am saying, as well as my motive, my intention, and my spirit. Furthermore, these same men would tell me and encourage me to make sure that I am the voice and the image of a woman and that I don't advocate. They would question if I advocated for women that want to be with women. I'm not going to advocate for bisexual women, trisexual women, a transgender woman. No, I'm saying that you have a right, you have a right to do what you want to do with your body as a human being. Now, this is where my stand for humanity comes into play. As a human being, you have a right to do whatever you want to do with your body. You have a right. I don't have to like it. I don't have to agree with it. But I respect your right to do it. I'm not going to be your advocate, though, to do as thou wilt. Wrong person. Wrong person. I'm not going to advocate for your rights over my rights. Wrong person. I repeat, as a natural born black woman, I do not want to share a bathroom with an unnatural woman. I don't want to take my children, my nieces, my nephews, my little cousins. And see, Ova knows me very well. I am extremely protective of the younger people around me. Extremely protective. More so than myself. I am extremely protective. So, no. Okay. See you later, Wolf. Thanks for coming through. Right. Right. So he mentioned about agreeing and disagreeing. I can agree with you and I can disagree with you. And whether I'm agreeing or disagreeing, there are some things that just remain the same. And one thing that remains the same, the things that I stand on, I stand on. I don't just go with the flow. I don't just go with the flow. I don't see, and this is one of the reasons why I don't give my time and my energy to just any and everything and just any and everyone, because it has to be protected and reserved for certain reasons and certain things. Hey, sexy monkey, good to see you. So this is something that this is one of my values. This is something that is not open for compromise. It's not open for compromise. Nope, it's not. It is not open for compromise. It's not bendable. I draw a line here. I hold the line here. And that is what that is. Sexy monkey, good to see you. I'm all caught up on everything. I'm not playing any more music or anything. I'm going to go do something else. I have said what I needed to say. Black man, hold your square. Heterosexual men do not, heterosexual men do not advocate for homosexual men. Advocate for yourselves. Let the homosexual men advocate for themselves. They do it so well anyway. So, oh, it's okay. Listen, so I'm going to go ahead and go. I've been up here for a while. Everyone, have a good night and thank you for coming and for listening. Peace.